Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Cheryl. Nice to meet you. If you're new here, hello, welcome. If you're returning viewer, welcome back. I said that all wrong, but welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do the April reading wrap-up. Yeah, I know it's almost July, but I forgot to do April wrap-up and May and June. So you're going to have four videos, because I have to do my mid-year freak-out take too. So 4 videos over the next, week or two. So you'll get a bunch of videos. But let's start off with my Celsius. This is Celsius Sparkling Kiwi Guava Flavor Caffeinated Energy Drink. I drink these every day if I can, at least one, because it has a high amount of, vitamin B12. And my doctor said I'm low in that, and it really does help energize me and make me able to think. Because if you don't know, I have ADHD and I sometimes can't think. Sometimes the ADHD works where I am distracted a lot, and then other times I can't think. So this really helps. I just showed you the French side. Sorry, I'm in Canada. Everything has French in it too. So these cost almost $4 each, so I don't buy one for every month, but I get as many, or every day. I get as many as I can afford, and I love them. So let's do the aesthetic and open it. Yay. And I've been looking forward to this all morning. It's like 10 a.m., but I wanted to drink it on when I did my videos, so. So good. As I get older, I tend to go after I drink. Does anybody else do that? Because I used to make fun of people who did that and say, you're so old. And now I do it. Anyways, I just had a shower, so my hair is still a bit wet. I did blow dry it, but didn't get it totally dry. How are you all doing? I got some new subscribers recently, so thank you for subscribing. If you haven't so far, please do so. I mean, if you want to, you don't have to. I'm not pressuring you, but I'm kind of pressuring you. I don't like promoting myself. I just don't like doing that. But I am trying to get to 300 subscribers by the end of the year, so let's hope. Alright, I got my phone on the Notes app, and we're going to do the April reading wrap-up. So grab a drink, grab a snack, grab a crochet or knitting project, sewing project, whatever you want to do while you watch the video, and let's get started. Alright, I got to find my Samsung Notes. I got my phone here. So when you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. For the April wrap-up, the stats are, I read 11 books, which is pretty good. I like that. 5 physical, which I read a lot of audiobooks, so I'm really happy that listen to a lot of audiobooks. So I'm really happy that I read 5 physical, 6 audiobooks, no ebooks. I had 2 3-stars, which I don't usually give away 3 stars. I think I've only given away, I think these are the only 2 I've had this year. No, I've had 3 3-stars. So this month I gave 2 3-stars, 4 4-stars, and 5 5-stars. So that's really good. I had a really good month. Like I said, I don't usually give out 3 stars or anything lower than a 4, because I basically know what I like. So we're going to go in, what order should we go in? I'm just going to go in the order that I read them. So the first audiobook I listened to, oh, I'm so sorry, jump scare. I'm already croaking up here. Okay, oh, I swallowed wrong. Do you ever do that? And it goes down the wrong pipe? Oh, that hurts. Okay. Whew, that hurts. Okay, the first audiobook I listened to was actually a reread. And it was Perfect Santa. Purrr. Perfect Santa by Nick Saint. I listened to this on Everend when I had never an account. I gave it 3 stars. This is a series. All the books start with purr. And it's about a cat who his caregiver can talk to him and he can talk back to him. Like they can communicate. And they solve murders. And this one wasn't about a murder. It took place in Christmas. And I think the main character's name is is it Dulcie? I can't remember. But her partner, her boyfriend, his dad goes missing or something, and I don't remember much about it. It was cute. It was short. It's just a little novella. It was cute. Um, all the books in that series are novellas. There's like 100 something different books in the series. Nick Saint is spelled Nic. Nick Saint. I believe it's a couple. I'm not sure. But I used to listen to their albums a lot, so, or their, not albums, their audiobooks a lot, so I decided I found that on Ever and I really want to listen to it, so I did. Gave it 3 stars. Next, I mean, what month goes on without me reading a Donna Andrews book? Actually, this last month I didn't read one, so there you go. But I read No Nest for the Wicked by Donna Andrews. It was an audiobook. I love the audiobooks. I do have a whole bunch. I have like 5 or 6 books of hers up there that I want to read, but I've read them all. There's only a couple of her books I haven't read. One of them is one that I'm getting from the library soon. I'm very excited about it. But this one is No Nest for the Wicked. Wicket. I gave it 5 stars. I love the audiobook. I love Donna Andrews. That's my favorite series in the whole world. It's the Meg Langzel series. It is a cozy mystery series. I talk about it all the time. It's about Meg Langzel, who is a blacksmith and she solves murders. And she has a wacky family and a loving family and a loving town, a small town called Philly. And I just love that series. I don't remember what this one was about really because they all run together for me. But I enjoyed it because I like all her books and I gave 5 stars. I usually give her audiobooks 4 stars just because they're not fantastic, but I really do enjoy them. So I must have really liked this one to give it 5 stars. I don't know. And even though I usually give them 4 stars, it's still my favorite Cozy Mystery series. I don't make the rules, okay? I mean, I literally do make the rules for my own reading, but we're just going to say, I don't know why. The next, I read a middle grade. This was for I read it in April, but it was for the March. Was it for April or March? It was for, I think it was during middle grade March. It was the group book read. And middle grade March was run by Krista Books and Jam. I don't remember. They do have a channel now, a YouTube channel, so I'll try and remember to link it below. But it's just called Middle Grade March, I believe, if you want to look it up. But anyways, they read The Mona Lisa Vanishes by Nicholas Day. I finally got the book from the library, so I read it in April, and I gave it 5 stars. This was an amazing book. So everyone knows what the Mona Lisa is. It is a famous painting, if you don't know. Look it up. It's not beautiful, but it's famous. And the reason why it's famous, it was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. And the reason why it's famous, and I didn't know this, is because in 1920 something, 26 I think, it was stolen from the Louvre. And that's like an impossible task to steal from the Louvre, right? So this book, The Mona Lisa Vanishes, is a middle grade about it basically tells the story, the true story of the painting being stolen, but it's written like fiction. So it's written as if it follows a bunch of different people throughout the whole thing. It follows the guy who stole it, and then it follows Leonardo da Vinci in part of it. It follows one of his proteges. I think it does. And it follows the girl who posed for the Mona Lisa, I believe. I don't remember for sure. I gotta reread this book because it was so good. It has pictures in it. It's illustrated. It was so good. You guys have to read it. If you read middle grade or are interested in the Mona Lisa, it is a really good book. It reads like fiction, but it's all true. So he did his research, Nicholas Day was wonderful. I loved that book. And I do want to read more from him if he does more books like that. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But I really enjoyed it. And I learned so much about the Mona Lisa and about why it's so famous. And it's only famous because, it's a great painting, but nobody really knew about it until after it was stolen and then retrieved again. And I tell you, after reading that, I went on a deep dive and I Googled everything about the Mona Lisa. It was really good. Recommend it. It's probably the book I would recommend the most out of all these. So I think it would probably be my favorite book of April. I said it. Okay, next is number 4 was Anatomy, a Love Story by Dana Schwartz. And I read the Mona Lisa physically. It was a physical book. I don't know if I mentioned that. Anatomy, a Love Story by Dana Schwartz. I read it physically. I gave it 4 stars. Really liked it. I have the second book over there. You can't see it. I don't know why I look over there as if you can see it, but you can't. What's it called? Immortality, I think is what it's called. Anatomy, a Love Story was really good. I really enjoyed it. It does have some gruesome parts, so just be warned of that. So this story is about Hazel, I think her name is. Don't quote me on that, but I think her name is Hazel. And she lives in the 1800s and late 1800s, early 1900s, somewhere around there. And she okay, I'm out of it. I'm sorry. I'm starting to, whew, but I don't know movement, but you get it. I don't have to explain that. It's still morning to me, okay? Anyways, back to what I was talking about. Anatomy, a Love Story. This book was about Hazel, and she wants to be a surgeon. And back then, surgeons were like lower than doctors. Doctors were like high tier and surgeons were low tier. And of course they didn't have like things that can like not laughing gas, but the stuff that knocks you out during surgery. So it was done with like whiskey or whatever. You drink whiskey and you dealt with the pain through it. So in that way it was quite gruesome. So what she did, she wanted to be a surgeon. She was interested in the body and the organs and stuff, and she really wanted to be a surgeon. So not sneaks, that's a different story, Cheryl. She wants to be a surgeon, so she tries to get into the surgeon class and at the school and become a surgeon, but they won't allow women because women can't be surgeons, apparently. We were messed up back then, just saying. We still are a little bit, but back then people were messed up. But anyways, so the professor says, well, you're smart, so if you can practice on your own, and this is kind of a spoiler, but she basically practices on her own I'm not going to say the part I was going to say because that's kind of a spoiler. So she practices on her own. In the meanwhile, she meets, I believe his name was Jack, and he is a grave digger and a grave robber. So what he does is he digs up recently deceased bodies before they, what's it called when you like disintegrate, whatever the word is, I can't think, people. That energy drink is not working yet, okay? And I just took my meds. I can't think yet. Not dissect. What's the word I'm thinking of? Disintegrate? You know that word. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So he gets recently deceased people, but he only gets the bodies of people, not that it's better, but he gets bodies of people that nobody really cares about, which is sad, but kind of like unmarked graves and stuff. And he steals them and brings them to the surgeon school for the practicing surgeons to learn on. So when she practiced to be a surgeon on her own, she meets Jack, and he starts robbing graves for her to give her bodies to work on. And the whole story is about that and about their love story. And it was beautiful. It was really good. There, like I said, about the surgeries, it's kind of gruesome because it's kind of graphic in describing organs and the feeling of touching like an actual heart and stuff. So if that bothers you, I would not recommend this book. It's kind of gross. But it was a beautiful love story, and there is kind of like not a paranormal twist, but an kind of an un it's kind of paranormal, kind of. It's a twist at the end that I did not see coming. And if you guess, the second book is called Immortality. So you might be able to guess from that what the first book ends with. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And I gave it, what did I give it? 4 stars. So a long one explanation of that book. It was really good. I'd recommend it. Next, number 5, I read Murder at Westminster. I keep saying Minister. It's Westminster by Amanda Carmack. She also goes by another name. Some of the times like on Kindle, it's under a different name, but in the physical book that I got, it says Amanda Carmack. I can't remember the other name. I'll put it up here if I remember to put it on. It's in another Amanda. Like I don't know what her real name is, but it's Amanda Carmack on the physical book. And it is a cozy mystery, number 2 in the series, Murder at Westminster Abbey. I did not read number 1. I am reading number 1 right now on Kindle Unlimited. The whole series is available on Kindle Unlimited. As you know now, I do have a Kindle now, and I am subscribed to Kindle Unlimited. I love it. And the whole series is on there. I don't remember what the series is called. I don't remember what the series is called, but the first book is Murder at the Princess Palace. I don't remember something like that. Anyways, it's by Amanda Carmack. If you look it up, you'll find it. Murder at Westminster Abbey is number 2, and I read it, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. This series takes place after the Tudor Queens, when Queen Elizabeth comes in. So that is after the Tudor Queens, right? I believe so. It is King Edward just died, I think, in the beginning of the first book, and Queen Elizabeth takes over. Queen Elizabeth the First, not the second, the first. And yeah, so it was really good. It's about, I should tell you what it's about. It's about one of the servants in Queen Elizabeth's court in her palace. And I don't remember much about it. Oh, I do remember. Okay, in this book, I don't remember her name, but one of the servants is playing for, not a servant, she's not a servant. She plays, I'm getting all mixed up with all my cozies. I don't think she's a servant. I think she plays music. In this book, at least she does. She plays like the violin or something for the coronation of Queen Elizabeth I. And she's playing in an orchestra with it because it's usually her dad who plays. That's it. Her dad plays in the like orchestra. I'm getting there. And her dad got sick or old or something, so she decided to play in it. And someone gets murdered. And she kind of teams up with Queen Elizabeth I. It's more of the servant girl than of Queen Elizabeth I, but she does make an appearance. And there was a nice little twist in it about Anne Boleyn, which I thought was interesting. I thought was really good. So, really enjoyed it. Again, it's a cozy mystery. If you don't know what cozy mysteries are, I read a lot of them, and they are basically amateur sleuths, so regular people, not detectives, just regular people who solve murders. They usually stumble upon a body. There's no gruesome scenes. They might mention that, like, that person is decapitated or something, but it won't, like, give descriptions. And in most cozies, there's not a lot of curse words. Sometimes there's a couple. Oh, my eyes. I got hair in my eyes. Sorry about that. There's not a lot of cussing. There is mostly not a lot of sexy times. Once in a while there's a bit, but most cozies don't have sexy times in them as well. And I just really enjoy cozy mysteries. They're fun. There's a murder usually, or sometimes there's a missing object or a missing person and they have to solve it, but usually there's a murder. And usually the person, the amateur sleuth, owns like a cafe or a craft store or something like that, and they just stumble across the body and they for some reason have to solve it to protect someone or to prove someone innocent, and that's how it all starts. A lot of small towns too are in cozy mysteries, and I tell you, I don't want to live in a small town because I feel like there's going to be a lot of murders. Just saying. I don't I don't really want to be the next Jessica Fletcher, but wouldn't it be cool to be the next Jessica Fletcher? Just saying. Okay, I'm going on a tangent here. She's not even real. I mean, Angela Lansbury is real, but Jessica Fletcher, not real, but I would love to be Jessica Fletcher. This whole video is just, I don't know why you watch me, to be honest. Okay, number 6. This was one of my favorite books I read this year. To Con a Gentleman. I read this by an audiobook. It was by Sarah Adams. It's called To Con a Gentleman. It's one of her older books, I believe. I think it was reprinted. I'm not sure, but this is a Regency romance. Now, it's clean. There is no graphic sexual things, although the tension was really good. The bantering was good. It was hilarious. It's basically a Regency rom-com. It was so good, and the audiobook was so good. So this, I don't remember her name because I hardly ever remember characters' names, as you know, but she is a con artist, and she, forget how it started. She pretends she's pregnant, and she wants to get to the Duke's house, go to the Duke's house. This is all in the first chapter. So she puts a pillow underneath her and pretends she's pregnant so that she can blackmail the prince, because she knows that the prince had gotten, or not the prince, the Duke had gotten someone pregnant, and she wanted revenge, basically. So she pretended to be pregnant. He's like a playboy. He sleeps with a lot of women, so she pretended to be pregnant to blackmail him to get money to give to the lady that was actually pregnant from the Duke, because he kind of like said, I want nothing to do with it, kind of thing, and denied that he even slept with her. So she wants revenge. So her and her dad are con artists, so she decides to con the Duke. So she goes to the Duke's house. The only thing is, she gets the wrong address, and the guy that answers the door is not the Duke. It's actually his neighbor or something. And he knows that she's a con artist because, first of all, he hasn't slept with someone since his wife, who tragically passed away years before. So he knows he never got her pregnant. And then he realizes that she thought he was the Duke. So he kind of plays along. And he ends up taking her, kind of kidnapping her kind of thing. But he basically plays along and says, I'll marry you and all that stuff. And he's just playing along with her, leading her along. And he basically takes her to his family home for, I don't know if it was Christmas or I don't remember what holiday it was, for a family thing. And then, he eventually tells her, like, on the way there, he doesn't lead her on for very long. And he lets her know that he knows that she's conning him and that he's not really the Duke. And she decides to play along and fake date him for different reasons I'm not going to get into. And it's their love story. And it was so good. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I'm getting all choked up here. It was hilarious. The banter was funny. There's a scene that when people say they kick their heels and kick their feet and giggle and all that, that's how I was. I didn't think I could get that way. That's how I was during this book. During that one scene. I won't tell you what scene it is. I'm getting loud. I'm sorry. But there's one scene that was just so cute. And I was like, oh my gosh, they were meant to be together. And then there's a bit of tragedy. Like I said, his wife had died, or I'm not sure if he was married I'm pretty sure he was married to her. It was his childhood best friend. And I believe they were married. And so there's that tragedy. And he was dealing with grief and dealing with how to move on. And yet he, really likes this woman and he thinks he's falling in love with her. But he doesn't want to forget his wife, and it was beautiful. There are some scenes that made me tear up a bit. Not too, like, I just realized I'm on the slide. Not too, like, sad. There are some sad scenes, but not so much. I wouldn't say it was a sad book, but it was beautiful. So good, so hilarious. It was, and I actually read the next book in that series. Did I read it in this one? No, I must have read it in May, but it was To Con a Gentleman. If you can find it on audio, it was so good. You have to read it. Listen to it, I mean. If you find it physically, read it too, but it was just so good. It does say 2024 on it, but I think it was republished. I think it was originally published back when Sarah Adams was, I don't know if she was an indie publisher or a self-publisher, an indie publisher at publishing. Oh my gosh. If she was indie published or self-published, I'm not sure, but it was so good. Okay, enough talk about that. Highly recommend To Con a Gentleman. I'm not sure if that one or The Mona Lisa Vanishes, two totally different books. One's a romance, a rom-com, and one's a middle grade historical fiction. No, a nonfiction. I love both of them. Okay. Oh, another book that I loved is on here too. I had a really good month. Anyways, I gave To Con a Gentleman 5 stars. Number 7, I'm just talking away. It's already been 26 minutes. My gosh, I gotta hurry up. Number 7 was Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. This was an audiobook. I gave it 4 stars. This is about a woman. This came out in 2024. And it was about a woman who comes back to a small town because she doesn't want to go back to a small town, but her grandma kind of convinces her to, kind of lies to her and convinces her to come back. So she comes back, and in this town, she had been publicly accused of murdering her best friend. She had never been arrested. They couldn't prove it to her, and she lost her memory of what happened that night. So the whole book is about her getting her memories back. And meanwhile, there's a podcaster, a man who is a podcaster, a true crime podcaster, who's doing a podcast about the case. And he wants to interview her, and together they try to work out what happened. It was very thrilling. I gave it 4 stars. I would have given it 5 stars if it did not have a kind of an erotic scene. It had a kink in it in one scene. It wasn't very, like, graphic as far as romance goes, like sexy times. But there was one scene where there was kind of a kink, and it kind of icked me out. I don't like that kink. Again, it was the only scene where there was a little bit more graphic sexual stuff in it. The rest of the time, it was not graphic as far as sexy times went. It was between the podcaster and the main character. They do have times together, but that one scene just threw me off. It came out of nowhere, and it really, I don't know why it was in there. I mean, in a way I do know why, because, okay, I'm going to give a spoiler, because I think this might be a trigger for some people. It was kind of a trigger for me. So, I know some people think trigger warnings are not necessary and are spoilers, so I'm going to give you a few seconds to click off. I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I will say the trigger or spoiler, and then when I go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, when I have 5, the trigger will be done, and I'll be done spoiling. So get ready to click off if you want to click off for like 2 seconds. So here we go. Trigger / spoiler in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I did that wrong. So, oh, I got a message. Okay. That was just my brother. The spoiler is there's a scene where she chokes him and he kind of enjoys it. Sexually, if you know what I mean. It's kind of gross. If you're into that, I don't mean to say bad things about it. If you're into it, that's great. For me, it kind of disgusted me. It kind of made me not like the main character. because I'm just not into that. I think that's stupid. I mean, the guy could have died. I don't like it. So, anyways, that's the spoiler. The rest of the scenes weren't that graphic, but spoiler ending in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome back if you clicked off for the spoiler. So yeah, that's why it's down to 4 stars. The thriller aspect was really good. I thought the ending was really well done. I thought it was very suspenseful, and it was really good. The audiobook was well done. I don't remember who the narrator was, but it was really good. Next, I read another one of my favorites, Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This is a romance book. I was in my romance era, I guess, and I really enjoyed it. I cried. I went through a whole mental thing. Again, there was spoilers. I'm not going to tell you what spoilers are because there's lots of videos that talk about the spoilers in this book, and really I don't want to revisit them. I kind of want to listen to it again, but I'm not in the right headspace to listen to it or to read it. Do I want to mention the spoiler? I don't really want to mention. I don't want to go there in my head right now. But just look up the trigger warnings if you want to read this book. Because there's... Okay, I'm just going to say it. I don't think this part is a spoiler. There's talk of infidelity in the book. And it was very well visited. And there's one scene that really got to me because I'm 46. I won't be having any babies, and I've always wanted to be a mom. So that part was really hard to listen to. There's other trigger warnings for it as well, but that one really got to me, and the whole book was really good. So this is about, I think this is the book that had infidelity in it. I don't even remember now. I just remember crying my heart out. It might have had something else to do with babies. If you know, you know. But it was really good. It's about a woman who is... What does she do? I'm getting all 3 of those books mixed up. Because there's 3 books in the standalone series. Yours truly... Is this the one where, I honestly don't remember. I'm sorry, guys. My mind is totally gone. I gave it 5 stars. It was really good. It had good mental health rep in it. The guy had anxiety, if I remember correctly, and it was really, oh yes, he had anxiety. Really well done. He had social anxiety, and she was really good with him. That was really good. I believe they were doctors in the same hospital, if I remember correctly, and he had anxiety. Oh, I remember. It's coming back now. They kind of get off on the wrong foot when they first meet, and then he writes a letter to her and apologizes to her. Is that the right book? I think that's the right book. And says that he has social anxiety, and they become friends, and then they become lovers, and then... she has an ex that is just awful, and it was just so good. And again, the baby issues is what got me, and the anxiety levels. The anxiety rep was really good. Recommend Abby Jimenez. Now, she does have 1 or 2 scenes in each book that is sexy times. To me, they're not as graphic as some books are. A lot of books are. But there are some, so just beware that if you don't want to read that. If you want a clean book, don't read Abby Jimenez because there is some sexy time scenes. I did enjoy it. I thought it was really good. Usually I read only clean or Christian, not just Christian, but clean books. But this one hooked me. I really enjoyed it. And I do want to read the other 2 books. The one part of Your World I started listening to. Not as big a fan as that one because it's based on a one-night stand, and I feel like I'm halfway through the book and I feel like the whole book is about sexy times, and I don't like basing a relationship on that. Um, but we'll see. I'm still haven't finished it. So, and then there's another book that just came out this year that I want to listen to. Anyways, next I had a disappointing read. It was 3 stars. It was The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Michaelides, I don't know. He wrote Alex. We'll just call him Alex. He wrote The Fury. I liked The Silent Patient. I thought it was good. I read some of the Maidens. I didn't finish it. Um, and The Fury was just disappointing because it all takes place in the same like world, even though the world is like our lives. Um, there's connections at the end between the 3 books. Um, it all is based on like Greek gods and the not Greek gods, what's it called? Shakespeare, stuff like that. It's all based on that. All the books are based on that. And it's a mystery. It is about a man, or a the narrator is a man who goes to this small island with this former famous actress. And there a murder happens. And it was disappointing. I did not really enjoy it. I think Alex and I are done. I think probably we have to break up because I'm just not enjoying his books. So we will see if I will read more of his books. If he does a new kind of standalone series, I might try it. I do like his writing. I just don't enjoy the little world that he's made up. I don't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the mystery in The Fury. I thought it was boring. The twist wasn't twisty. It wasn't twisting. I didn't like it. Number 10 is a book that I actually read a few months before because I beta read it for my friend Jessica Brimer, but it came out in April. It is up on the Bookshop, The Body Fell. This is by Jessica Brimer. I gave it 5 stars. Really liked it. It is the 3rd book in her Messy Bookshop series. I will link the Canadian link down below to the Canadian site of Amazon.ca. You can find it on Amazon.com as well. It is the 3rd book in the Messy Bookshop series. She's just getting better as she writes. She's just so good. The series follows Garnet Stone, and she is a bookshop. She works at a bookshop, and in this particular book, her boyfriend gets accused of murdering um, a, a famous author, but kind of like a Wattpad author. Like she's not Wattpad. She's a famous author, but she's kind of like writes books that I would never read, I don't know why I said that, but anyways, Garnet is doing a signing with this author, is in her bookstore, and this author comes, and for reasons I'm not going to get into, her boyfriend Leo, Garnet's boyfriend Leo, gets accused of killing this woman who dies on the rooftop. And it's during the Christmas season. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, Jess's writing is getting so much better, even though she was always a great writer. It's just getting so much better, and I think her strength is making her characters sarcastic and making jokes that are just plain out funny. Um, I just love her characters so much. Again, if you've only read the 1st book, I highly suggest you keep going in the series because it just gets better as it goes on. Not that her 1st book was bad. I thought her 1st book was great too, but just as she goes on, I can see, as any author, the more you write, the more you publish, you get better, right? So I really enjoyed this book. I love the cover, and of course, you'll see, I'll put the picture up here, but her books are just so good. She's currently writing a standalone, so I'm excited to read that and read something different of hers. But yeah, I enjoy that. So that is Up on the Bookshop, The Body Fell. And honestly, every time I say that, I want to sing Up on the Housetop, but sing it Up on the Bookshop, The Body Fell. That song is ruined for good for me now because I will constantly sing that instead. Anyways, and then the last book I read, I listened to an audio by Winnie Archer. This is Needed to Death. This is the first book in the Bread Shop Mysteries, I think. This book is about, again, a main character, I don't remember her name, and I listened to this on Everend, and she goes back to her hometown, as one does, and she, after her mom dies, I think, and she goes to stay with her dad, and she starts learning how to bake bread from a bakery, and starts working there. And in the first book, there is a murder of someone who nobody likes, who is murdered, and one of her friends gets suspected of the murder, so she has to clear her name. I really enjoyed it. I listened to 3 of those audiobooks in the next few months, so in the next couple wrap-ups, you'll see more of this series. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. There was a couple things I noticed, grammar mistakes not grammar, but mistakes that you would notice in an audiobook that they didn't fix in the audiobook. I found that kind of weird. Just because usually if there's a typo in the book, the audiobook, they fix it. There was one typo and the audiobook narrator didn't fix it, and it really, I noticed it, I noticed it because I noticed those kinds of things. So that kind of bugged me. It kind of put me off the whole book. But that's just a me thing. It bothers me when that happens. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Needed to Death is what it's called. And I gave it 4 stars. So those are the books I read in April. This was a long, chatty, rambly video. I apologize. I hope you did enjoy it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Please leave a comment below. Let me know if you have read any of these books, if you want to give any of them a try. Again, I will link Jessica Brimer's book series. I'll link, maybe I'll just link her page on Amazon.ca. Again, I live in Canada, so it's Amazon.ca. You can find her at Amazon.com as well, though. And I believe she's in the UK as well. I'm not sure. She's translated to a lot of, into Spanish as well, I believe, or Italian, one of them. So I think it's Spanish that she's translated to, so that's exciting. Anyways, I will link that below. That's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. God bless you in all you do. I have to edit this video and get it up. I'm also going out with a friend today for lunch in a couple hours. If you're an OG of my channel, you remember Ryan, and he is going to be in town. He's from Alberta, so the province over from me. I'm in BC. And he's coming down here for a couple of days to visit his family, so we're going to go out for lunch, so I'm excited for that. I love talking to him. He's just a wonderful guy. I don't know if his wife is coming today. I hope she is, because I would love to talk to her. I haven't seen her in a while, but he didn't mention that she was here, so who knows? I don't know, but it would be nice to see her, because I haven't, apart from commenting back and forth on Facebook, I haven't talked to her in quite a while, so it would be nice to see her. Either way, I'm going out for lunch with Ryan, and I'm excited. So I will talk to you later. Thank you for watching. Okay, God bless. Bye, guys.